Hey Mercy House, happy Monday. I first want to ask you a Leviticus trivia question. First person to get the right answer and post it on our Mercy House fan page on Facebook, we'll send you out a little prize. So the question is, why is it that both camels and catfish are unclean animals? Again, first person to post that on the fan page will give you a little prize. So the question yesterday that I was most asked, a very serious, sober question, was, can I still eat bacon? And the answer to the question is yes, you can eat bacon. Once Jesus shows up, the food laws are essentially abolished. How do I know that? I know that because of the words of Jesus. Mark chapter 7, the religious leaders of the day, the Pharisees, are arguing with Jesus over hand washing. And the reason being is not because they have some insight into microbial disease, but because the Jews were very meticulous about washing hands so they didn't become ritually unclean. Because who knows, maybe you touched a cockroach or something and could possibly make the food that you're about to eat unclean. And this is what Jesus says, and this is Mark 7, starting with verse 18. He says, "Are you so dull," he asked. "Don't you see that nothing that enters a man from the outside can make him unclean? For it doesn't go into his heart, but into his stomach, and then out of his body." And then Mark makes this comment. In saying this, Jesus declared all foods clean. So there and other places throughout the New Testament, it's very clear that all foods are clean. But then listen to this next part. Verse 20, he says, "What comes out of a man is what makes him unclean. For from within, out of the men's hearts, come evil thoughts, sexual immorality, theft, murder, adultery, greed, malice, deceit, lewdness, envy, slander, arrogance, and folly. All these evils come from inside and make a man unclean." What Jesus was doing that day was essentially the same thing that we were doing yesterday in the sermon, causing us to think about what really it means to be unclean and to be unholy, which is an internal thing, an invisible spiritual reality, which Jesus reveals there is the whole purpose of those food laws. I hope that you'll be thinking about some of the principles that we talked about yesterday when you're reading the next few chapters on uncleanness. The idea that unholiness causes us to be isolated from God and from community. Those truths are going to help you in understanding the chapters about leprosy, childbirth, those kinds of things. I hope you'll join us either tomorrow on our Tuesday midweek or Wednesday to work out further questions that you may have. And thanks for checking in, and have a great week.